Welcome to Network Cabling Standards Lesson 1. I'm your instructor, Jose Leonardo San Miguel. The objective of this lesson is to be able to identify the common characteristics of the most commonly used network cable. We will discuss the advantages and limitations of each different cable category. Very importantly, objective number 3 is to be able to identify the different types of fire ratings for each cable. And last, we will go over on how to select the proper cable that meets the building's fire rating code. The standard length limitation for all category cables is 100 meters or 328 feet. The most commonly used network cables are category 3, 5, 5E, 6, and 6A. Cat 3 cable is mostly used for analog connections, DSL connections, or modems. It is currently not being used commercially too much. Cat 5 cable is used for network speeds up to 100 megabits per second. Cat 5E is for network speeds up to 1000 megabits per second or 1 gigabit per second. These type of cables are normally installed in call center, universities, businesses. Cat 6 are for network speeds up to 3 gigabits per second. Cat 6A are for network speeds up to 10 gigabits per second, primarily installed in data centers when you will find network equipment capable of uploading or downloading data at 10 gigabits per second. The letter E found after each Cat 5 or Cat 6 means enhanced. It is an improved version of the previous one. The letter A means augmented, which means to be greater in size. In network cable, it means more twists per meter and a thicker gauge. There are two types of cable conductors, which are stranded cable and solid cable. As you can see on the image on the right, stranded cable conductors is made out of multiple fine metal filaments which are twisted together to form a required gauge. Stranded cable is more flexible and it is most commonly used to connect computers to the wall jack. Solid cable conductors are made out of solid metal. They are more rigid and are primarily used for backbone and horizontal cabling. Every network cable has an identifier printed under outer jacket. The image on the left illustrates that this is a stranded cable and is identified as UTP. As you can see, the content on the right, U stands for unshielded and TP stands for twisted pair. Therefore, this cable is a stranded, unshielded, twisted pair. The unique characteristics that separate category cables from any other cable are the twists in each pair. Category cables are twisted together in pairs for the purpose of canceling out electromagnetic interference. Each of the 4 pairs in a category cable has different precise number of twists per meter. Less interference reduces crosstalks between cables, which allows for faster transmission speeds. Notice the image that Cat 6 cable has more twists than Cat 5E, and Cat 5E has more twists than Cat 5. That is one of the reasons why higher category cables have faster transmission speeds. Cable jacket fire rating is of chief importance when installing cable. The most common fire ratings are plenum and riser cable. Riser could be substituted for non-plenum cable. For riser non-plenum cable, it is used in buildings that use air return duct rather than using the ceiling space to return air circulation. CMR cable or riser cable cannot be used in plenum spaces. The image is a representation of an office room where the ambient air goes out through a duct. This type of ceiling space is called riser or non-plenum. Plenum cable is designed to be used in buildings that use the ceiling space to return air circulation. The cable is composed of a fire retardant jacket and can be used in place of non-plenum riser cable. The image is a representation of an office room where the ambient air gets circulated above the ceiling. This type of ceiling space is called plenum space. It is extremely important to use the proper cable based on fire codes. If you don't use the proper cable, fire marshal can find you, remove all your cables, and make you do the job all over again. What type of cable is this? Let's examine the cable prints. It reads that it is augmented Cat6, and it reads that it is CMR, which stands for Communication Riser. Let's see. It says Cat6A, riser non-plenum cable. There are many other types of cables used in the industry. Another not so common cable used in the industry is the outdoor category cable, which is a water block cable with sunlight resistant jacket. It is filled with anti-corrosion gel. It can be buried, installed in an underground conduit, or in an aerial lashing. It must be enclosed in a conduit or plenum rated inner duct if used indoors within the ceiling area. In conclusion, before doing any cable installation, check the air return of every building. Make sure you use the proper cable. Remember, plenum cable can be used in place of riser non-plenum cable. However, plenum costs about double the price of non-plenum cable. If you receive a Cat5 cable to install and the customer is expecting speeds of 1 gigabit per second, then it is your responsibility to tell them about the limitations that Cat5 has and recommend a higher quality cable. And always do an assessment prior to installing new cabling.